Welcome to the Grace to Lead podcast. I'm your host, Belinda Gaston, and today we're pulling back the curtain on something that doesn't get talked about nearly enough, and that is the hidden work of leadership. You know, the behind the scenes stuff that no one applauds, the prayer, the self talk, sometimes the silent battles, just the faith it takes to keep going when it feels that things get hard. And so, if you've ever felt tired or unseen or like your labor is in vain as a leader, this episode is for you. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Grace to Lead podcast. And listen, if you are a woman who leads in the boardroom, the church, or your home, you are in the right place. Each week, you'll hear real conversations, practical insights, and biblical encouragement to help you lead boldly and walk confidently in your God-given calling. So join me on this journey to becoming better leaders God's way. Are you ready? Let the journey begin. Listen, we often admire leaders for what they do, right? How they speak, lead meetings, maybe executing their visions or inspiring teams. But leadership is so much more than the visible moments that you see, right? The real kind of formation and training and work of leadership happens in the quiet places, in the places that people can't see. And I think that this is most top of mind for me because I have been in a place where leadership has been difficult over the last few months or so. And so I thought I'd talk about that today. I mean, for leaders who are particularly in seasons of difficult leadership or transition, there are often late nights that you have where it might be filled with prayer or second guessing decisions. There's the managing of the people dynamics and holding on to vision when really progress seems slow because things are just changing, right? What people see when they look at the successful leader is the fruit of that leadership, right? They see the success of the team, or they see the amazing event or experience that this leader has led. But there's so much more that people don't see. They don't see the seeds that are planted. They don't see how things are managed. They don't see how sometimes as a leader, you even have to wait in your leadership journey. Because leadership really isn't something that's can be captured on platforms in the way that other things can. It's a process. And so for me, this is personal because right now I'm in the middle of leading in major transition. And on the outside, it probably looks like I have everything together. But behind closed doors, listen, y'all, this is not easy. I've wrestled with so much uncertainty. I've stayed up late praying for wisdom or getting up early in the morning, praying for wisdom, praying for new strategies. And honestly, there have been times where I've just cried sometimes because I'm in the middle of a space where like many of my colleagues, we'd have to deal with layoffs and furloughs and people leaving that are close to us or important or talented people, losing projects or work that you may have dedicated much of your career to. Those things have come into my path and it's been difficult as a leader. And no one sees the difficult part, quite honestly. It's just God. God sees. But I couldn't post about it. I didn't post on social media about it. I couldn't really even share with my colleagues in the fullness of what I was experiencing because one, I believe as a leader, it's important for me to be transparent, but also to be protective, right? It wouldn't have had any value really to go into detail to help the people that I'm responsible for leading or those that I have influence over to break down, right? But in those moments, I know for sure that in what's happening right now, in all of the moments I'm experiencing, I know that my leadership is being shaped the most. It's not any podcast episodes or speaking engagements or accolades. Those are not the times that my leadership has been shaped. It's really the times when I'm experiencing right now, where I've been silent, where I've surrendered. I call them my surrendering days. Each day, Lord, I surrender. Each day, all I can say is, what's next? Give me wisdom, give me strength, give me courage to help me move forward. And so if you're in that place right now, and you may feel like this labor that you're doing in secret that you can't share with anybody is difficult, know that you're not alone. It's part of our leadership process. It's easy to be a leader when things are high. The question is, can you lead when things are challenging? That's what shapes us as leaders. And if I'm honest, one of the most difficult parts for me in this journey that I'm in right now is carrying the burdens that I can't fully share. If you know me, you know I'm very transparent. And so I share from the heart. I say, listen, this is what's happening. I remember I was actually thinking recently about a time when I was grieving at work because my right-hand woman, Dion, had passed away. This was 2 years ago. And I would have these moments where literally just ordering supplies or looking at a spreadsheet or something she developed to help me out, any little thing would help remind me months after she passed about her, and I would grieve all over again. And I remember being open and telling my colleagues, listen, today's not a good day. I'm sad. Today I can't really do it. I need a moment. But for some reason, in this space of leading in difficult times, it's been challenging being as open. I can tell people, yeah, this is hard. Yeah, I don't have the answers. No, I don't really know what's going to happen next, but here's what we can do. And I am very blessed in that I work with a team of very smart, capable, incredible people. And I have a supervisor who is gifted in leading people. And so that really makes things easier, I should say. But the truth is, I can't be as transparent with those around me because they're relying on me to be strong in some cases. And this is not just in my work environment. Even in my church environment, we've transitioned into a new space. There's some growing pains, right? And that requires me to lead through change. Even in my home life, I mean, even if you have children at home, they're different stages. I have a middle schooler and college kids, and there's transition happening there that require me to lead in this space with my husband. Because remember, leadership is not just me telling somebody what to do. Leadership is influence. It's the responsibility of making decisions, creating strategies, direction, and influencing others. And so there's a burden that comes with that. And you, as a leader, you can't really share that burden. Maybe it's because you're protecting your team from anxiety in uncertain seasons. I know that's what I'm experiencing right now. A large part of why I don't fully and completely share is because I want to protect them from worry, from anxiety. Or maybe it's standing strong in faith when you're unsure what's next, right? You know there's change, but you don't know what to do. And so you have to be strong in your faith. That's a burden. And I'll be honest, for those of you who are doing things that are impacting the growth and development of people, if you're equipping people to be more like God or to live more like God, there is some spiritual warfare that also shows up. It can show up as exhaustion, confusion, discouragement, depression, but it shows up. It's a burden that we're carrying that we can't fully share. And I'll tell you, for me, it's not even the big things, right? It's the little things. It's the constant decisions, what I call the low grade pressure, right? Where you're constantly making decisions. The moments when my inbox is like full and I feel like my cup is empty. It's the pressure that I have to be strong for my family, for my friends, because life is still happening. Just because I'm at leading in a challenging place right now, it doesn't stop me from having friends who also have lives, to having family that also has lives. Even when you are not sure if, like, how am I going to make it? You still are responsible for it. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been in that place, smiling on the Teams meeting or the Zoom meeting while silently asking God, can I really do this? Is this really happening? Is this what I'm supposed to be experiencing? Yeah. All I can say is me too. But here's the thing, you are not alone. You are not alone. Galatians 6 and 9 in the Bible says, let us not grow weary in our well doing. We've heard this a lot. For the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Listen, I want to tell you that the harvest is coming. Even right now, when your work feels hidden, when it feels like nobody knows this leadership journey or burden that I'm carrying, I want you to know that harvest is coming. You cannot quit. Don't get weary. Harvest is coming. So, what do you do when you feel this way? When your work feels heavy as a leader, when you're leading in the middle of change or transition, when you're leading in a challenging time, right? What do you do? Well, I'm going to share 4 things and then I'm going to stop talking. But I want you to know one is what's kept me going is being anchored in God's presence. I know it sounds cliche. Yes, you should pray, you should meditate. But let me tell you, when you're really going through, if you are a person of faith and you are really going through something, there is nothing more encouraging than sitting in the presence of God, giving everything you have and laying it at God's feet. This will look like, for some, prayer, where you pray, Lord, help me. Help me give this over to you. I don't know what to do. I don't know what decisions to make. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm sad. Whatever those things are, right? It helps. For some, it may be journaling. Maybe you need to journal out your thoughts. Maybe it's writing in your journal and being honest. Because the thing is, you have to have moments where you're honest about what you're going through. For some, it may be sitting and listening to music, meditating in nature, going on a walk, whatever it is, find yourself an anchoring spot, whatever it is that anchors you. I have a friend that is anchored by family. So when she feels down, she goes around her family. She has a very lots of children. She has a large family, and just sitting in the midst of her family is her anchoring spot. Listen, I don't know what your anchoring spot is. For me, it's prayer meditation. For others, again, it could be journaling, it could be music, but get anchored. Find your anchoring spot. The second thing I would encourage you is to remember that you are in the position that you are on purpose for a purpose. You didn't just haphazardly find yourself in this position of leading in the workspace or leading in your ministry or starting that business or writing that book or being that teacher or being that mom or that wife. You didn't accidentally get in that place. You are positioned on purpose for a purpose. And when you remind yourself, like, I'm here because I'm supposed to be here, because it has to be me at this time, and there is something that I'm purposed to do, it really does change your perspective on your leadership and what you're doing. The other thing that I would share, which is going to sound really strange probably, but it's this place. Remember, I said that a lot of the things that I do, I've been doing lately in the last few months or so in my leadership journey have been hidden. I share some things. I'll tell people, here's what I'm doing here. But a lot of the toil for me personally has been behind the scenes. And I was like, I remember thinking, this feels like such a hidden place. But I understand now that it's not hidden, it's holy. It's where, again, it goes back to what I just said about being where I'm supposed to be. I understand that in the quiet moments, in the places that people can't see, is where I'm growing and developing as a leader. It's where the growth is happening. Yeah, it sucks sometimes. And can I just grow on the beach, right? Can I just grow on the beach with a pina colada? I don't know. But it's where the growth happens. And so reframing those moments as this is part of the process can help. And the last thing I'll say is don't isolate. I've talked about this in season 1. As leaders, we were not meant to lead alone. It's okay to come out of isolation. And I am incredibly blessed at this time in my life. It's amazing how God has sent me friends who understand leadership. They understand where I am. Many of them have been here, done this. Some of them are in the same spaces. And I am able to relax in their presence without judgment. And they're able to share, hey, when I went through this, this is what happened and this is how I responded. Or, hey, I noticed that, you haven't had any water today. Are you drinking? Are you taking care of yourself? Or allowing me just a moment to breathe without I have one friend that I can call and she's okay with me not even talking. I can just say, I just need your presence. And she will make conversation, but we can also just hold the phone while we're doing other things. It's like when you were little, like, I don't know if I ever did this, but like back in the 1900s, early 2000s, when people used to be on the telephone for real, not like texting or video chat, but just holding the phone, doing other things. I think my middle schooler actually does this now, where she'll FaceTime a friend and they'll be doing completely different things, but just both be on FaceTime, not talking. It's that making space. It's creating space to be. You can't isolate yourself. And it's that part of being hidden that's really the blessing. Because if you think about it, Jesus spent 30 years in obscurity before he stepped into 3 years of public ministry. His ministry was only 3 years. 30 years of preparation, 3 years of ministry. So these are moments that we're having that's preparing us for the next thing, because I honestly believe that what's happening now in the places that people can't see in my leadership is making me a better leader and preparing me for the next place. I believe that this preparation won't be wasted. Jesus's preparation wasn't wasted, neither will ours be. God does his best work in the background. You hear me? Just because people can't see it doesn't mean that it's not important. And so if you're listening today and you're thinking, that's me, I'm showing up, I'm leading well, but I'm tired, I'm frustrated. I just wish people would see all of the work that goes in for me showing up at this one meeting, all of the work that goes into me just doing this one thing for my client, all the work that goes in for me just showing up in my home and being a wife and a mother. If people just knew how much it took for me to get myself together to go and share that inspirational word, to teach that Bible study, whatever it is, if that's you, hear me when I say, God sees you. You are not alone. And this period of preparation is important. Your hidden work matters. Your tears, your prayers, your integrity behind closed doors. If people only knew the kind of integrity you are carrying behind closed doors, even as sometimes they may slander your name, if only they knew. It all matters. You are leading well, even if it doesn't feel like it today, because I know that changes each day, right? You are leading well, even if it doesn't feel like it. It really is a blessing to be able to lead during challenging times. It prepares you to go from one place to another. And I'm confident that even for me, as I'm telling you this, even for me, I'm taking this in, I'm confident that the lessons I'm learning right now will make me better at my next place. Where are you sowing in silence? Where do you need fresh encouragement or fresh strength? I believe that God will meet you there. Lord, I thank you for seeing us in the unseen. I pray that you remind every woman listening today that her hidden faithfulness matters to you. I pray that you restore her strength, that you renew her vision, that you remind her that she is graced to lead right here, right now, in the midst of this situation. Be with her. Show her signs today that she is not alone. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, I want you to know that the hidden work that you're doing isn't wasted. Matthew 6:4 says, your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. It's seen by God. Don't get weary in your well-doing. Those who are influenced by you appreciate it, whether they say it or not. It's necessary because you are on purpose for a purpose. You're placed on purpose in this leadership role for a purpose. That's it. That's all I have to say for this episode today. Thank you for spending time with me this week and listening. I know that this episode was later than usual. I had some technical difficulties, but I'm committed to continuing the work of Grace to Lead. If this episode encouraged you, would you do me a favor and share this with another woman who leads? Can you do me a favor and subscribe, like, and share this podcast to help me reach others? If you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe using the link below in the show notes. And even a review. Leave a review if this has helped you. It helps other people to find the show. If journaling is how you are anchored, I did include in the show notes a free download so that you can do some journaling around this topic. So please take advantage of that. We're back next week, and next week we actually have an interview with an amazing guest. You want to listen next week, okay? But until we meet each other again, until we hear each other again, remember that you are indeed graced to lead. Until next time, bye-bye.